So what non-metal band has influenced you? Non-metal, and Ben saying like Black Sabbath onwards, like anything that sort of was influenced by Black Sabbath is off the table.
Yeah. So we're talking non-metal and why, not and why, but just favorite bands that are non-metal.
Has to be an influence though.
Okay, influence. Yeah, influence. Yeah.
What? Sure.
Who's going first?
How to determine an influence?
I have mine. I like.
Oh, you go.
So definitely Simon and Garfunkel for two really big reasons. The first is lyrically, he's really, really clever. Right, Paul Simon wrote. I think he wrote most of it. I don't think Garfunkel wrote much. So he'd write. There's this great song called "The Dangling Conversation," and it's about a couple who are no longer really getting along, and they've been married for like so many years, and you know, they sleep down the hall from each other now. They don't really talk to each other. And there's this part where he says, "We may as well be apart. It hardly matters. We sleep separately. And just when I try on the thought of leaving you, I stop and think it over." And it's just this brilliant capturing of that moment of maybe we should just break up. It's probably just too much effort. Like, it's a really, really clever. That's just one example of so many songs that he does. Like, some of his songs are like, Feeling Funky or At the Zoo, or, those sorts of songs are just sort of like happy-go-lucky, sort of songs. But, the ones that's sort of behind, like The Sound of Silence or The Boxer, or, the ones that, there were all the ones that were really popular, but there were also ones behind that were really in depth and really, really clever. But a lot of the melodies that we put into our stuff, a lot of the thirds melodies, when you're playing it, Brendan and I'm playing it at the same time, and Rory's sort of doing the underneath, all inspired by Simon and Garfunkel. Mainly their vocals, because you have Paul Simon and then you have Art Garfunkel singing on top, and they sing at the same time, but they just sing a third apart, and that gives it that really haunting sound, which is what we do in a lot of our music. So a lot of the melodies, more consideration to how they construct the melody rather than the melodies themselves. Very Simon and Garfunkel. So yeah, love the stuff. Got to see them like 5 years ago, and they were freaking brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Cool. So good. Yeah. So definitely one of the biggest influences.
To know, man. I would never have known that.
Yeah, same. Yeah, same.
Yeah, no, huge fan, man. I'll tell you, I can give you a freaking playlist, man. I'm not scared.
Yeah,
that's all right.
Yeah.
No,
I'm not scared to receive a playlist. I'll listen to it. I'm not. I'll listen to it.
No, look, anyone watching this, if you're interested in Simon and Garfunkel, I recommend the album Bookends. That's the album to go to. Bookends, in my opinion, is a cut above the rest of them. I think it's an absolutely brilliant album, and you should check it out, even if you are just a pure metalhead, because it is so fucking good. So Bookends, Rory.
Big recommendation.
Bookends. All right.
Bookends.
I don't have nothing to write down, but I'll remember it.
I'll send you a message, man. A couple of days. I'll send you a message. I'll fucking check up on you, bro.
Yeah, do it, man. I'm a bit scared to fucking do it.
All right, someone else's turn. I've talked too much.
All right. I'm going to go there. This one influenced me in a different sort of way. I think as growing up musically, was Mum listened to it a lot. It was Pink Floyd.
Oh, yeah.
Mum was really heavily into Pink Floyd. And funny you say that. Toby was in the car the other day and heard Another Brick in the Wall.
Mm-hmm.
And he loved it. So I've got the album. But he just loves that melody line in that. And just with Pink Floyd, I think the whole soundscape really just captures the listener really deeply. And you just listen to the songs and just like lyrically and what headspace they're in. It's just like a cut above the rest. It's just like, how do they, and the production on it for like, especially just Another Brick in the Wall, like that's like 1979. And the sound quality is just amazing. Yeah. And like just now listening back on it, like listening to the drums, and I think Nick Mason's the drummer. just so amazing, just so simplistic, but they just wrote songs. And like, there's so many albums of them. Like, was it Wish You Were Here? And obviously Dark Side of the Moon is the big one. But then there's all the other ones like I'm a Gunner, and like I've got a whole collection of them. There's just so many. It's like almost like a Frank Zappa, they just released so many albums.
Yeah.
But for me, influential, like as growing up and listening to that, and that's kind of like respecting music. And like I think also like lyrically he was really like, it was really haunting some of the stuff, especially on Another Brick in the Wall. Sort of like the song Mother is pretty full on. I don't know what way to interpret that song. Is his mother being good or is his mother being bad? So that's something for us to listen to it. Listen to the song Mother and like the lyrics. I don't know if he's like saying that his mum like put all these things on him and like he's making out that his mum's a really bad person or making out that his mum's a really nice person. And that really gets me.
I'm gonna write that down.
Yeah, and it kind of gets me.
My old man was into Pink Floyd, but I never really gave him a good shove, so I will now.
Yeah, well, I kind of did it like I used to do it like when I was younger. I'd just get the CD player and just chuck the CD on and just fall asleep to it. You know, and that kind of really embeds stuff into your memory, into your psyche.
It's quite Pink Floyd's quite meditative though, isn't it?
It is. Oh, depending on what mood you're in, it can put you like some of the songs, like Wish You Were Here. Like we had that at Gracie's funeral. It's like a beautiful song, you know, and just like his whole and especially the guitarist Roger Waters. I can't remember, but it just they're just amazing musicians, and they're just like they're so unique. And yeah, that's a big one for me. I'm gonna say Pink Floyd.
Have you heard the album? Is it an album? Metal. It's a real early one. Pink Floyd.
Is it okay? I'll have a look at my collection. I've got ones on my hard drive. Yeah,
it's my favorite one. For
okay.
Pink Floyd.
Oh, I'm gonna write that down. Yeah. Metal.
MEDDLE or MED.
Yeah.
But I don't remember if that's a name off the album or a song off the album or if it's actually the name of it.
Yeah, I'll have a look. All right. Rory.
Oh, I don't know. I'm kind of struggling to pick one that's kind of like what was it? Influence, yeah.
Yeah, influence, yeah.
Yeah. I'll name a band I really like that's not a metal band.
Right.
Do that, which I suppose is, there's somewhat of an influence there. Pendulum.
Oh yeah.
I
used to get into Pendulum, man. What was that famous album of theirs? One of the first ones. What was the first album they brought out? That was really good.
Was it In Silco?
Yeah, I think so.
No, Hold Your Colour was the first one, I think.
I think so. Yeah, that rings a bell.
And then I think Hold Your Colour was number one, and then because that had like Tarantula on it and all those.
All those big. Yeah.
They're cool, man. Like real nice. Like I don't know, because I think they had a lot of instrumentalists in the band as well, and they played a lot of instruments in their songs that added that extra element. So it wasn't just straightforward drum and bass. Had that extra spice. And I would definitely go with Pendulum. Yeah, that's good.
Nice.
Yeah.
Short and sweet.
Good choice.
What about you, Brendan?
My influences I mentioned, I don't know if I was going to say I don't know if I've aired this episode, but hey, by the time this comes out, we will have aired it. My influences aren't really metal, the ones that I've mentioned already. So I was going to say Pink Floyd because that album is pretty good. Beach Boys, Smile, I think. That album. So where that's influenced me is in terms of harmonies and stuff like that. And a couple of Sydney bands. So I wouldn't say these guys are metal, but they're definitely very loud and very distorted. It's a band called Sounds Like Sunset. You can sort of hear heavy Beach Boys influences in their music.
Okay.
And another band from I think Sydney. They're called Purpleine. They're very clean, very sparse. I don't know if that's the right word. Sorry?
Spicy? Is that the word you're looking for?
Spicy.
Spicy. This is a spicy meatball.
He loves spicy.
Damn, all right. My
Just
bad.
kind of but the way they recorded their album, it's just super clean and just really good. So there we go. I'll go with Sounds Like Sunset and Purpleine.
Yeah, what are they called? Purpleine.
Purpleine, yeah.
The color purple, and then like you're leaning on something like.
It's purple NE.
Okay.
But I think they've broken up now and they've made some other band. I don't know.
Would you classify Red Hot Chili Peppers as metal?
No.
No,
They don't have the aggression.
Yeah, no. Because that's another influence of mine, actually, especially that album, Blood Sugar Sex Magic. That was a really, especially drum-wise, actually, that was a really good one. I really liked that. Was, yeah. Like,
when
I think
they
the ones
came out, it was interesting because they were included in metal publications and they were sort of thrown into that genre of metal, but they're totally not.
No, they're not.
They're closer to rock than they are metal.
Yeah, totally.
It's just funk.
Yeah, it's like rock with funk. Sort of, yeah. It's not metal. He doesn't. I mean, Give It Away is probably the heaviest song, is it?
Probably, yeah.
I mean, that's
probably. Honest,
it's not heavy. Like, I mean, when you think of where heavy, like the term heavy comes from, you know, like the 60-12 man, that's heavy. That's hard to take on. That's hard to hold. None of it's hard to hold. Like, Dream of California. I mean, even though they're talking about that, like they're talking about these horrible things that are happening, it's still done in this. Under the Bridge is probably the heaviest song in terms of content.
Yeah.
But even, well, maybe Breaking the Girl. But it's not, no, I just don't feel it. Like, it's too light. It's too wafery for me. It's not bad. Don't get me wrong. I think they're cool. It's just, well, every song starts to sound the same.
I know what you mean. I just really, the drums on that album were really good, actually.
They are clever, yeah. But yeah.
It's not your thing.
I tell you what. Oh, sorry.
Go.
You go.
I was going to say, what about Jimi Hendrix then?
Would I say he's metal?
Yeah.
He's more blues than he is metal. He does have metal riffs though. Like some of his riffs are metal-y, but he's more blues.
Because he's heavily influenced my guitar playing.
Yep.
But then it's, if you look at it of the context of when he was around, he would have been described as heavy metal.
Definitely.
Holy shit. The Skyhooks were described as heavy metal.
Yeah, and that's not even close. Yeah, I mean, really now in this day and age, even a band like Iron Maiden is barely metal anymore. Like it really is quite soft.
Like Metallica wouldn't be metal now.
Well, look, anything from Black Album really isn't, and I know that gets people's goats and people get pissed about it or whatever, but it isn't. It was a decision to make more marketable stuff that was going to pay off, and it did. But the thing about it is, though, and I think the thing that we forget when we talk about Metallica's Black Album and we go, the fucking sellout, they're no longer thrash and blah, 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 blah. The thing that we forget is that it opened a doorway to so many genres. Like, nu metal would really be nowhere if it wasn't for Black Album. Pantera would never have been as polished if it wasn't for Black Album. So like when they brought out Far Beyond Driven, they were saying, okay, we want you to do like a Black Album. That's what we want, and it's like, all right, we'll do best we can. We can go down that road. Like all of those highly.
I know what you mean by that.
That album was really the same. Deathcore's the same. Like all those sounds that were really, really polished and really. Like Metallica were the first ones to do it in such a fashion to make it that marketable. Like you have that whole subgenre, they have to thank Metallica for it. Like I think it's cracking, but is it, like the progressive freaking metal that they had in Injustice? Not even close. Not even close. Like for me, I wish it was just two separate bands because I could like them individually. Because I even didn't mind some of the stuff on Death Magnetic. I didn't mind some of the parts on Senanga. They're not my favorite albums, but I listened to bits and pieces. Oh yeah, that's cool. Their latest album though is a piece of I'm not a fan of their latest one. Sorry, that might be controversial.
Yeah, I like that song Slither off Senanga. It's an underrated song, I reckon.
Yeah, Sweet Amber.
Oh yeah.
We're supposed to be talking about non-metal bands. Can we stop talking about Metallica?
All right. So. Non-metal bands. Okay. Australian from Sydney, not metal. Love his stuff. Josh Pike.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He's
Great.
loved.
Oh, another one's Xavier Rudd. Actually, he was a pretty cool Aussie dude.
Who's Xavier?
And like he's got like a John Butler, but a little bit more. He wasn't as famous as John Butler, but he was. I think he was. I like him better.
The Cat Empire. He supported them. He played Justin.
Oh, Cat Empire were awesome too.
Yeah, Cat Empire is sick. I always forget about them, bro. They're one of those bands I forget until I hear them.
They were a really good band, man. They wrote some really good songs.
Yeah, man. They were like an album last year. I'm pretty sure it was really good.
Did they really?
Yeah. Like they're still doing stuff.
Yeah, nice. Are they Melbourne? They're a Melbourne band, aren't they?
I think so, man. Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Oh man, I'm sitting on the floor. My butt's getting sore. I'm chopping rhymes up in here, y'all.
Leave that in, Brendan. All right, what about this? One of the best albums produced from Australia in the last 25 years. No, it would be 25 years. 25 years was Savage Garden's first album.
Say that again.
One of the best Australian albums produced, right, in the last 25 years would be Savage Garden's first album.
Well, is that what you're saying?
Yep.
Why?
Have you listened to it?
Which one's that? What songs have got on it? What famous
Really
ones?
Madly Deeply. It's got It's got To the Moon and Back. It's got
To the Moon
Universe.
and Back.
Universe. It's got don't listen to it for the song content, Brendan, because you'd hate it. Listen to it for its production.
Yeah,
and think about this. It was that one guy, right? That one guy, that Daniel guy, who just all together himself, and it is fucking mint. It could have been released today. It is so crisp and so brilliantly put together. Like, I mean, I know it's just rock set too, but still, it is really. I really am singing its praises. I'm telling you, it is amazing. And I only ever listened to it because Jess did, and then you kind of go, oh yeah, this is not break the
one of my
it's
one of my guilty pleasures. Like when it comes on,
it sounds brilliant. Snare choice alone is just brilliant.
Dude, they're so catchy, man. Like, you got to give them some credit, man. There's some fucking catchy songs.
Oh yeah.
Like you listen to them and you'll fucking sing it for the next 10 minutes.
They only broke up because Daniel was like, I don't like to tour. That's the only reason they broke up. Yeah, they did 2 albums. They were on like top of the charts, won all these arias and that. And Daniel was like, yeah, I think I prefer to just produce music. So now he just produces music and that's it.
Oh, let's get him to produce Floyd Resist.
You do a good job.
This conversation was kind of shit enough as it is. Now it's just slipped down a slope. I'm not on the same page, guys. Sorry.
Oh, damn it. You got to listen.
I don't know if Rory was feeling it either. Judging by his body language.
Never listened to Savage Garden. I don't know.
He's too young for Savage Garden.
Yeah, he is.
Dude, was he even born when it came out?
I don't know.
Yeah, we said last 25 years. Rory's only like, how old are you, Rory? 22?
26.
Really?
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, I always think that you're like 22 when I first met you. Just haven't realised like it's been like 5 years.
He just stays that age.
Yeah, he just stays that age. Yeah.
Fuck. Hopefully it works out like that. Right? What if we're just stuck in a little time vortex, boys?
That's what it feels like. It's like feel like a time vortex bubble.
My knees don't feel like they're stuck in a time vortex.
Your what? Your knees.
My knees.
Oh. Hey, how's the bike riding going, Brendan?
That's feeling good.
Yeah?
Still on
it. It's not an exercise bike.
Oh, that's good. Yeah. Well, no, I thought that conversation was good.
All right, well then let's wrap it up.
All right, thanks for listening.
Thanks for watching that great episode we just did, and stay tuned next week.
Yeah, and like and subscribe, and subscribe to Fall and Resist.
Don't forget to subscribe to the bell notification, and then click the dislike button if you didn't like it.
Engagement is still engagement.